folks, John Pettipas, welcome back. It's now 6.5 minutes before 9 o'clock in the morning now of Thursday, the 18th day of November. Front page today's Halifax Herald. Euston disgusted with pastor's remarks. I'm going to repeat that. Euston, terrible Timothy, the Premier of Nova Scotia for the time being. Don't know why, but he's there. He won't serve a full 4-year term. I'm damn sure of that one. It'll be Mutiny on the Bounty, as they say. Interesting movie, Mutiny on the Bounty. The ship for that famous production was built in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. So it'll be Mutiny on the Bounty before that guy's out of there. Anyway, that's a story for another day. Terrible Timothy, disgusted with pastor's remarks. Well, let me tell you, myself and countless Nova Scotians are disgusted with one Timothy Euston. He's a disgusting fella. Disgusting Timothy Euston. Terrible Timothy, as I call him. And other N.T.Bs. N.T.Bs. Now, this from the fellow that cancelled the Lord's Prayer. Remember, folks, he said he bristled at being called a conservative. He said there's no conservative party in Nova Scotia, which there isn't provincially. And he also said he was on page with Justin Trudeau to spend. So him and Justin Trudeau are two peas in a pod. They're two amigos, not three, but two amigos. Now, the Lord's Prayer, Nova Scotia, always has opened the provincial deliberations, the provincial legislature, with Lord's Prayer. He cancelled it. Where's all the Tories that voted for him? Okay, now let's look at today's Halifax Herald here. Euston disgusted with pastor's remarks. Amherst church leader fined $2,224.22. Now, he goes on. He goes on. He talks about restricting attendance at church. He goes on further with comments like, actually, the next one is not him. It's Nova Scotia Liberal Party leader Ian Rankin. Now, Ian Rankin would be the N.T.B. That N.T.B, there's lots of Tories like that, but there's some Liberals like that too. Not too bright. That's right. And very fair. We have disgusting, terrible Timothy. And we have the Nova Scotia Liberal leader, for time being, Ian Rankin, a previous premier. And he is N.T.B, not too bright. Okay? He chimes in. He chimes in on it. Then you have Bobby Strange. Okay? Then they go on with vaccines. And he goes on. Expansion of booster bookings. Anyone over age 70 and older can receive 2 doses of AstraZeneca's vaccine. Front care line healthcare workers, blah, blah, blah. And other ones, and after you get a booster. Now, interestingly, I'm going to digress here, but it seems we're talking about vaccines. The CEO of Pfizer was interviewed about 2.5 weeks ago now on CNBC in New York, and the interviewer asked him, have you been vaccinated? Now, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, and Moderna, they're the top 4 vaccine producers. Then the communist Chinese, they're in that too, the hellish crew that runs communist China. Anyway, they take and they're manufacturing vaccines, as well as, I say, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson. So Pfizer is one of the largest producers. The CEO was interviewed on CNBC, and repeat, and the interviewer asked him, are you vaccinated? He said, no, he says, no, I'm saving, I don't want to take a shot away from somebody else. And he was about probably no more than 3 or 4 days later, I think it was the BBC World News that I was watching, he was interviewed again. And this time he couldn't answer with a straight face without smirking. No, I'm not, he said. That tells you about vaccines, doesn't it? Anyway, back to religious freedom. I'm running out of time here. Back to religious freedom. Daily TV Mass is about to go on. The terrible Timothy and the people that support him, they're just, he is a spineless, despicable little piece of shit. I should have got some excrement here to point out. That's why I have to wear black. I'm not Johnny Cash. I mean, I'll be wearing black forever, but anyhow, I'm going to make a video of this guy. Terrible Timothy. Freedom of religion. That's why the early Catholics come to Nova Scotia. That's why the early Protestants come to Nova Scotia. Freedom of religion. That's how America was founded, on the basis of freedom of religion. Okay? This quite ironic that under the previous government, under the Liberal government of then Steve McNeil, liquor stores were open and churches were closed. I ask you, does that make sense that the liquor store should be open as an essential service and the churches were shut? Not at all. It's blatant discrimination against religion. There's no ums, ahs, ifs, and buts about it. It's blatant discrimination against religion. And that's terrible Timothy from up in Pictou East, and he's just terrible. And so this here, I'm going to go back to where I started this morning. Front page of today's Halifax Herald. Used and disgusted with pastor's remarks. Okay? Well, we, myself, John Pettipas, and countless other Nova Scotians are disgusted with terrible Timothy. You hear that, terrible Timothy? With that, I gotta go. Share this video, promote a discussion, phone your MLA, phone the Premier's office in Halifax, and tell them just what you think of his discrimination against religion. He's the terrible character in this. With that, I could go. All the best. God bless. Thank you.